In this lecture, I'll briefly introduce you to Kafka Streams processing library and also help you to create your first Kafka Streams application. So, without wasting any further time, let's start. Kafka Streams is a client library for processing and analyzing data stored in Kafka. You can easily embed Kafka Streams library in your Java application and execute it on a single machine or package and deploy it using Docker containers. When you want to scale your system, you can run multiple instances of the same application on various machines. Yet, you do not need to get into the complexities of load balancing and fault tolerance. Kafka Streams API handles all of that transparently. The core functionality of Kafka Streams library is available in two flavors: Streams DSL and Processor API. Streams DSL is a high-level API which is very well thought API set that allows you to handle most of the stream processing needs. Hence, DSL is the recommended way to create Kafka Streams application, and it should cover most of your needs and most of the use cases. Processor APIs are the low-level APIs, and they provide you with more flexibility than the DSL. Using Processor API requires little extra manual work and code on application developer side. However, they allow you to handle those one-off problems that may not be possible to solve with higher level abstraction. We will primarily focus on the Streams DSL in next few sections of the course. However, in the later parts, I'll also get into the details of the Processor APIs, and I'll help you to understand that additional flexibility. Great! Let's start our learning with a simple Kafka Streams application. As our first example, we want to create a straightforward Kafka Streams application to do the following two things. The first thing is to connect to Kafka cluster and start reading a data stream from a given topic. In the second part, we want to print the stream on the console. We do not want to get into the processing yet, but simply dump it to the console. Great! The problem is defined. Let's create a solution. Same like earlier, I again got you a starter project. The starter project comes with all dependencies, scripts, and the Hello Producer example that we created earlier. We will execute the Hello Producer to generate some data stream, and we will create a new Hello Streams class to implement the requirement that we just discussed. So, we'll read the stream and print it to the console, right? Let's start. The first thing is to create a Hello Streams class. Then add a main method to the class. Good. We are now ready to create a Kafka Streams application. At a high level, creating a Kafka Streams application is a 4-step process. The first step is to create a Java properties object and put the necessary configurations. Same like Kafka producers, Kafka Streams API is also a highly configurable API, and we use Java properties to specify those configurations. In this example, we will set 4 basic configurations. The first configuration is the application ID config. Every Kafka Streams application must be identified by a unique application ID. If you are executing multiple instances of your Kafka Streams application, all instances of the same application must have the same application ID. That is how Kafka would know that all the instances belong to the same single application, right? The next configuration is the Bootstrap server. You already know this one, right? A Bootstrap server is a comma-separated list of host port pairs that Streams application would use to establish the initial connection with the Kafka cluster. The next two configurations are the key and value SerDes. Great. This one is new. Let me explain. Serdis is a factory class that combines a serializer and a deserializer. In this example, we are setting an integer Serdi for the key and a string Serdi for the value. You might be wondering, why do we need Serdis? In earlier examples, we created producers using a serializer and consumed using a deserializer. But why do we need Serdis for the Streams API? Well, the answer is straightforward. This example is a data consuming stream application. We read a stream and print it. That is all we are going to do. However, a typical Kafka Streams application would be reading data and writing it as well. Hence, they internally create a combination of consumer and producer. So, they would need a serializer as well as a deserializer. Therefore, the Streams API takes a Serdis approach for the key and the value. I mean, instead of specifying two configurations all the time, let's define both at once. Isn't it? Great. We are done with the first step. Step 2 is the central part of your Kafka Streams application. In this part, we define our streams computational logic that we want to execute. For our example, the computational logic is as straightforward as following. Open a stream to a source topic. That means define a Kafka stream for a Kafka topic that can be used to read all the messages. Process the stream. In our case, that means for each message, print the key and the value. That's all. Create a topology. I'll come back to this one in a minute. Let's first understand the 1 and the 2. Okay, we want to use Kafka Streams DSL for defining the computational logic. Most of the DSL APIs are available through Streams Builder class. So, the first step is to create a Stream Builder object. After creating a builder, you can open a Kafka Streams using the stream method. The stream method takes a Kafka topic name and returns a KStream object. Once you get a KStream object, you have successfully completed the first part of your computational logic. That is, opening a stream to a source topic. I would also recommend that you specify the types here. The message key type, which is an integer, and the value type, which is a string. This is a good practice, and it also helps you in avoiding some warnings like unchecked calls. Good. The KStream class provides a bunch of methods for you to build your computational logic. However, we just want to navigate to each message and apply a println. So, let's use the for each method on KStream to implement the second part of our computational logic. That means process the stream. The for each method takes a lambda expression on key and value pair. And the logic to work with each pair is implemented in the lambda body. All we want to do is to println the key and the value. That's it. Instead of using for each method, you can also use the peek method to work with each record in the system. That's all. That is what we wanted to do as a computational logic. Finally, the last step of implementing the logic. Creating a topology. The Kafka Streams computational logic is known as a topology and is represented by a topology class. So, whatever we defined as computational logic, we can get all that bundled into a topology object by calling the build method. So, what it means, everything that we have done so far is starting from the builder.stream, the for each call, all that is bundled inside a single object called topology. If you know Java well, you can recognize this thing, right? We are using a Java builder pattern that allows for the step-by-step creation of complex objects using the correct sequence of actions. So, we define a series of activities for the topology and finally call the build method to get the topology object. That's all. That's what we wanted to achieve in step 2. Let's take a quick recap. Creating a stream processing application is a 4-step process. Step 1 is to define the configuration properties. Step 2 is to create the topology. Step 3 is to start the stream. Once we have the properties and the topology, we can now instantiate the Kafka Streams object and start it. That's all we do in a typical Kafka Streams application. However, there is a step 4 also. Let me explain. A typical Kafka Streams application is an always running application. So, once started, it keeps running forever until you bring it down for some maintenance reasons. However, when you want to bring it down, you must be able to perform some cleanup activity and gracefully shut down your system. How to do it? Simple. Add a shutdown hook. Let me do it. That's it. My Streams application is ready. You want to run it and see it in action? Start your Kafka services. Create a topic. Start your stream application. It should print some messages to the console. Not doing yet because we do not have anything coming to the topic. So let me start my producer. Great. Now we can see something. The key and the value being printed here. Nice and simple, isn't it? We have seen a simple Kafka Streams application. You must have realized that the core of your Kafka Streams application is the topology of your application. So the next couple of lectures will elaborate on the topology and create a reasonably complex stream processing application. Great. That's all I wanted to cover in this lecture. See you in the next lecture. Keep learning and keep growing.